Okay, so today I'm going to be straightening my hair and giving myself a trim. Oh, and I didn't get to finish the last video, but these are my nails. So I ended up not doing symmetrical because you saw this side, and I ended up doing this side completely different. So I like them. I like how they turned out. This is my hair straightener I've had for a long time. And let's see what scissors. I also need to wash my face, and this is my favorite moisturizer. It's the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream with niacinamide and hyaluronic acid and peptides. And also has 30 broad spectrum sunscreen, 30 SPF. So that's my favorite one. So I need to put that on. And I guess I'll use these scissors. Give myself a trim. My hair mainly feels healthy, like all the way down until like right here. So I'm just gonna try to be trimming the unhealthy bits off. Like, can definitely feel where the split ends start. But I usually start with my bangs to try to get a more unison. I always have these long pieces that sit on my nose, just kind of aggravate my nose. I'm glad my bangs grew out because my bangs were cut like 2 weeks ago and they were super short, but they're really good length now, so glad they grew out just the right amount. I really should put heat protector in my hair, but I ran out of heat protectors, so don't have any right now. Also, it's hard for me to find heat protector that I really like the smell of it. Oh, I thought my little head cold was going away, but I still kind of sound like I have a head cold. So you can kind of tell this all looks smooth here, all the way up until, like, it doesn't look so smooth right there. Looks like it's like gritty on the bottom. So, cutting off the gritty parts. I haven't had a trim. Let's see. I got one when I got my hair highlighted. My highlights start here now. So, I got my hair highlighted, I think in I don't remember when I got my hair highlighted. I think it might have been in July of 2024. I actually don't remember. Either July or August. I know, pretty sure it wasn't before July. No, it was before July because I remember I wanted to share a picture of my highlights on Facebook, but in June I was going to visit my mom and I wanted it to be a surprise because my mom always checks my Facebook. She always looks me up and looks at my profile, and if I posted it on there or on my Instagram, it wouldn't be a surprise to my mom that got highlights, and I really wanted her to be surprised. So I know I got them before June. I've been straightening my hair I think my first time I ever did it was for my grandma's funeral. Well, someone did it for me. At my grandma's funeral, I was 11 when my grandma passed away. And I remember me and my sisters were getting ready for the funeral, and we all wore black outfits, and all my sisters were like putting makeup on, and some of them would straighten their hair, and I asked them, could you please straighten my hair too? And they said, you sure? I was like, yeah. So, because everyone in my family naturally has curly hair due to my mom. My mom's Jewish, and her Jewish genes are very strong of brown curly hair. So every one of my siblings have brown curly hair and brown eyes. But yeah, I remember when my sisters straightened my hair for me, and I remember going to the funeral, and people didn't recognize me with straight hair. A lot of people tell me I look different with straight hair. So some people were asking, like, who's that girl with the family? Like, is she a cousin? Is she a relative? And I was like, no, it's me. Me with straight hair. Just look different with straight hair, I guess. Well, when I had curly hair, I didn't always take care of it. Sometimes it was just like a ball of frizz. Like, curly hair could be hard to figure it out. So maybe it was the fact that with the straight hair I looked like really more presentable. Not like a ball of frizz puff on my head. So yeah, when it's dry out, my hair will stay straight all day. If it's like raining or humid out, it's kind of a waste of time for me to straighten it because it will just immediately go back to curly as soon as the humid air hits it. Or like one drop of rain and my hair's curly. So I think this side's done. I usually straighten it and give it 10 minutes and then go back in and straighten it, the curly pieces. So I try to do like a straiten carpenter, like kind of the trim around my face, like this, which I think Miley Cyrus and Lady Gaga both tried to do that. I feel like Sabrina Carpenter started it though. Yeah, so I just woke up. I literally just woke up like 30 minutes ago, and I was just sitting in bed for 30 minutes. And sometimes I just have a really hard time getting out of bed. And when I was a teenager and a young adult, I definitely struggled with morning depression, for sure, for many years. I don't feel like I struggle with morning depression as much. Just I have a tiny bit of dread for the upcoming day. Like on occasion. Like I would say at least once a week. But I would say probably 5 or 6 days a week I'll wake up excited for the day. Excited for everything that's going to happen, and I get dressed right away. And I'm really excited. But there's always at least one day that I'm like dreading getting up, because I just wake up with this feeling sometimes that just want the whole world to stop moving. And I just want the whole world to stop moving for a little bit. And sometimes I wake up and it's like the world is still moving and people are still doing stuff, and it just bothers me, I guess. I just have to accept reality. But I usually feel like that when I'm like not ready for changes to happen in my life, which honestly there have been a lot of changes the last 2 months for my husband and I. So I feel like my fear of change has grown since all these changes. Like I feel like my hair's not knotted at all for this top and middle part, and then you get to this bottom and it's knotted all the time. You know, I wonder if my husband will notice that I trim my hair. I bet he won't, but I kind of hope that he doesn't, because he loves my hair. Like, I'm glad he loves my hair, and I love my hair, but he really loves my hair, and I kind of hope he doesn't notice. I mean, he'll be fine with it if I trim it, but I remember my mom also loves my hair, and when I was 14, I grew it out, like, probably down to here. I have a picture of it somewhere on my softball team. It's probably, because it was straight from my softball team picture, so it looks probably the longest. But, yeah, I wanted to donate it to the cancer survivors, you know, that needed hair wigs. I think the one that was closest to us, where I grew up, is called Locks of Love, where they made the hair for like cancer survivors and everything. So I really wanted to donate it. So I cut it all off. I think I cut it like up to here or here. I braided it like from here down, then cut it. And when we went to donate it, they said I donated 14 inches. Like they measure them. They said it was 14 inches that I donated. So that's crazy. But yeah, I never wanted my hair to be long like that again. And my mom was absolutely devastated. I mean, she was supportive of me to donate my hair, but she was also devastated that I cut so much hair off. And she was like, no, it's so beautiful, don't cut it off. Oh, I missed a piece. It's always hardest to get the back. But yeah, when I was in high school, I straightened my hair mainly when it was dry out, but quite a bit, I would say, in high school. And everyone thought I was like a different person every time I straightened my hair. Because I look like a different person. Okay. Time to trim. Let's see. Let's trim this off. Unplug it. So... I don't know how much I want to trim off, but I know these parts that are like real rigid. It's a slippery slope. I could just keep on going. I feel like trimming is a slippery slope. Let's see. I didn't want to trim off a ton, just a little bit. I feel like this side of my head always has drier hair, and this side of my head always has like more moisturized hair. And I don't know what that's about. Trying to bring my hair back to life. That's what I'm trying to do. So something about me and my husband, we both love to play video games. And it's so funny. Before we met, like I had like finding a husband on my mind a lot before we met. And whenever I'm lonely, I like talk to God in my head. Like he's my only friend or something. But so I was telling him everything that I felt like I was comfortable with and not comfortable with in like a husband. And I was thinking about it, and I felt like, this is gonna sound crazy, but I felt like God was wondering if it was important to me to have a husband that likes to play video games. So I thought about it for a really long time. Like, is that important to me? Like, if I never play video games again, would that bother me? And I thought about it like long and hard. Like, how much would that bother me? Or would I be okay with that? And I finally came to the conclusion that that would bother me. That when I was going through hard times in my life and I play a video game, it just would help me get through hard times. I'm gonna get this really tight brush. I feel like there's pieces that are not coming out to the end. Let's see. They're like curling at the end or something. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. That looks better. Okay, I think I'm done with this side. I think I made this side a bit shorter. Anyway, so video games really got me through some really tough times of feeling like my stress level was high, and playing a video game, it just put me in that like zen mode, like that mindset of zen and calm, like I'm safe, I'm okay, and I just felt like that was my safe place. And to like never have that again, I realized that would bother me. So then when my husband and I first started talking, like our very first conversation, like he was really ready to get married too. And he's like, I'm done playing around. Like he's like, I'm done playing the love games and, you know, trying to put on a show, and then my girlfriend finds out that I was just being nice and I'm not really like that, and you know, like all that advice that parents give, like, hey, don't let your boyfriend or girlfriend see your bad side or whatever. He's like, I'm done with that. He said, I want you to see every side of me, and if you want to marry me, you can. If you don't have to. So, like, we really had a matter of fact, well, this is way too long. We really had like a lot of matter of fact conversations for our very first time we met. Okay, now I think it's the right length. And we talked about like the important stuff like religion and how many kids we want, and I guess everything that you want your spouse to be good with. So then he asked me like, hey, what's your I think it's pretty much the same length. He asked me like, what are your deal breakers? Because we hadn't gotten to the video games yet. And he was like, what are your deal breakers like? And I said, I like to play video games. And I was like, if you don't let me play video games or don't want to play with me, like either let me play by myself or play with me, one or the other. Like if marrying you means I never get to play video games again, I was like, that's a deal breaker. I was just straight up honest. Like it's not going to work out. And he was so shocked. My husband loves video games. He's loved video games for a really long time. Like before I ever met him. And a lot of his other girlfriends he dated like didn't allow him to play. So, and so he was so shocked when I was like, that's a deal breaker. And felt like he fell in love with me in that moment. He's like in love. Because we both had that similar interest, which was important to both of us. Which I feel like not all interests, you don't have to share all interests with your spouse, but it can be really helpful to share some of them. Okay, I think my trim's done. I really like this length. Like anywhere between like my collarbone and then here, like this medium length. It's my favorite length. I don't like my hair to be super long. I don't like it to be shorter than my collarbone. So this is like the perfect length. So yeah, done with my trim. Now I gotta put my face moisturizer on. Anyway, so my husband and I both still play games when I made like my first like huge paycheck from real estate, because the majority I get like really small paychecks from my real estate job, but every once in a while I'll get a big one. And I got a really big paycheck one time, and I used it, and I got my husband, it was around Christmas time, and I got him a brand new Xbox and PlayStation 5, because they had released a new, it was in 2022, but they had released a new Xbox and a new PS5. So, got a brand new of both as the Christmas gift, and he was so happy. And then he got me a new Xbox that matched his. But we share the PS5 because we do like playing some PS5 games, but we mainly like the Xbox games. So we share the PS5, kind of take turns with it, and then we each have our own Xbox. So we have a new Xbox, both of us do, and then we both have the old Xbox, which is the Xbox One. And then my husband has the 360, and I have the original Xbox. Is the first one. I actually have the first one that my family ever used. When my mom was packing, she was like, I could throw this away, and I was like, no, I'll take it. She threw away some other systems actually, but I took that because that first Xbox my family ever used has a lot of good memories. So I still have it. Then, my husband did have his original PlayStation 1 and 2, but I don't know if, and 3. He had the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. I don't know if he had the 4.